everybody, it's Molly with Cooking with Molly. I'm going to be fixing a slow roasted honey glazed pork shoulder or a part of a pork loin, and it's going to take some time between cooking and marinating, so that's why I can't come to you live. But let's get to this. The first step in this, we're also going to pair this with some asparagus and some potatoes. We're going to actually just put those in there and roast with it. But the first part of this is to marinate the sauce. So let me see if I can put this down. So there we go, so that you guys can follow what I'm doing. You'll see here I have just a piece of pork. This is a part of a pork loin. This will probably serve probably 3 to 4 people according to how much they eat. This is about 2 1/4 pounds. The first thing we have to do is we have to do the marinade, and it's going to sit in this marinade for about an hour. So we're going to take a cup of soy sauce, okay, and we're going to take about a 1/4 cup of sugar, and we're going to take about 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, okay, and then we're going to take, let me get my picker upper here, we're going to take some chopped green onions or some scallions, okay, and we're going to put those in here. Okay, let's get all these in here. So I had pre-done all this stuff, so I'm not doing this too long. I'm going to get my whisk, and we're going to whisk this together, okay, just to make sure that that sugar has evaporated in there. So we're going to put this up, okay. All right, so that's ready to go. So now what you're going to do is you're going to score your pork. So what you're going to do is, through the fat side of this is what you're going to do. You're going to cut through to the fat, okay? Not all the way through the meat, through the fat. We're going to score it till you can see the meat, okay? Boom. Probably should have sharpened my knife for this. So I'm going to score here and here. Okay, one more. And one more, okay? Then I'm going to take it this way. It's almost going to look like a checkerboard, okay? Almost like a checkerboard. And the reason to do this is because when you put this in the baggie to marinate it, this is going to help it really get into the meat so the marinade doesn't just sit just on the outside part, okay? So you see this is what it's going to look like. So you're just scoring it. So I'm going to take this and put it right in the baggie, gallon-sized bag like this. Stir this again. Let me get the onions out of here. And we're going to take this and we're going to pour this in the bag. Okay? And I can still see some of the sugar in here. So obviously I should have done that a little bit more. But that's okay. You won't make that mistake because I just did, right? Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to seal this bag up. Okay? And you are going to make sure that this just really sits in this marinade. And about every 15 minutes for the next hour, you're going to turn it over, okay, so it can get the top part too. You'll see how this looks right now, right? So every 15 minutes for an hour, set your timer, and then we'll be back. Okay, everybody, so my pork is still marinating. I still have about 15 more minutes to go on that. It's been in the marinade for about 45 minutes, and I have been turning that, you know, and shifting that every 15 minutes, okay? Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I have a pan ready, and I used one of my bigger pans because when I put this on and I marinate this little piece of pork and put that on here, I'm also going to do some vegetables. I'm going to do some sliced fresh asparagus. My sister-in-law doesn't like asparagus, so I'm going to throw some broccoli in there too. And also I'm going to use some about 6 of the Yukon Gold potatoes. I don't like using russet potatoes for things like this. Feel like the golden Yukon are it's really tasty. Really love those potatoes. So let's get the next part of that. So let me show you. I've got my asparagus ready, and they're already cut in half. Remember to always cut your ends off your asparagus first, the bottoms, because that's really tough, whether you're boiling or whatever, that part will always be stringy. I've got about a cup of broccoli here for my sis-in-law, and then of course I've already cubed up my Yukon Gold potatoes, so they're ready to go. So what I'm going to do now, while we're waiting for that last 15 minutes, is I'm going to, let me get my olive oil. I am going to take all my asparagus, okay, going to stuff those in here in the baggie. I got myself a gallon bag, and I'm going to take my broccoli and put my broccoli in there. Okay, I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of olive oil in here. Okay, and I'm also going to take some black pepper. Whatever you like on this, put as much as you want. And whenever I'm roasting vegetables, I always use kosher salt instead of just regular table salt. So I'm going to put about a teaspoon of that in here. So we're going to start with those. And I'm going to seal that up, and I'm going to coat those really good. Now you can do this on the pan. I found out a long time ago that rather than trying to get the oil on everything and the salt and the pepper on everything, once you put the vegetables in the pan, it's much easier to use a bag and get everything going with this. So I'm going to take these veggies now. Let's see, these look like they could use a little bit more pepper. Okay, let me do this again. Okay, take these. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to put these on one side of the pan, the vegetable part. So I'll be right back. Let me put these on here. I'm going to see if I can't divide this up a little bit so it's not wrapped. The broccoli isn't with all the asparagus. Let's see what I can do here. All right, so I've got that part done. I got that shifted over there. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing with the potatoes. I'm going to put all those in the same bag, okay? Again, I'm going to take some olive oil so we can take those and get these all stirred up. I'm going to put some pepper in here. I'm going to put some kosher salt in here, okay? I'm going to seal this bad boy up, and we're going to do what we just did. I'm going to mix this all up, okay? Get that pepper and that salt all over everything. I don't have my microphone on today, so this may sound kind of airy. I wasn't going to film this, and I thought, well, I haven't fixed this before, so I like trying new stuff with y'all. So I said, I'm just going to do it, not even worry about all that. Okay, so as you can see, got those ready, and I'm going to put these on the other side. So I'll be right there with you. I'm going to show you what I've done in just a minute. Keep hoping that my alarm's going to go off here any minute. Okay, actually this really makes a pretty presentation. Look here how I've got, can you see that? How I've got the asparagus and the broccoli and the potatoes on that side, but in the middle, that's where I'm going to put the piece of pork at. So let me set this here. Alexa, how much time?
You have 5 minutes and 40 seconds left on your 15-minute timer.
Okay, we will be back. Okay, everybody, I'm back. The marinating is done. So we are now going to take the piece of pork and we're going to put it in the middle here. So I'm going to turn this camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Now what I've done also is this, remember this is a slow cook. So I have my oven preheated to 275 degrees, okay? And we're going to cook that for, I believe about an hour and a half. Let me check here. Yep, we're going to cook this for about an hour and a half because mine's a little over 2 pounds. So let me get this pork. Let me show you now. So it's been marinating. You see how I'm just going to leave those onions on the top. Let's do this one more time. All right. Let me put this down here so you can see. There we go. I think that looks good. So I'm going to open this up. Got my gloves on, so I'm going to take this pork out and I'm going to set this right there. Woo, there we go. You're going to get rid of the rest of this marinade, okay? You're not going to need that. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to cook it for an hour and a half. Then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to throw together a glaze, which really I've already done, that's going to consist of about a cup of dark brown sugar, a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce, and a half a cup of honey. And when you get done mixing that together, see how thick this is? We're going to take this out of the oven after an hour and a half. We're going to move that temperature up to 500 degrees, put this all over the pork, and it's going to work its way into these cracks, and all the goodness is going to soak into the pork, and we're going to cook that for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to take it out and see the results. So I'll see you soon. Okay, we are an hour and a half in for cooking this, just like the directions said. Now we are going to put this glaze, and remember we talked a little bit of soy sauce, a couple of tablespoons, a cup of brown sugar, and a half a cup of honey, which looks like this. So we're going to take this now, and I'm going to put this down so you can watch it. Okay, look at that. That's how it looks after an hour and a half. Just fabulous, right? Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this all over. It is sinking into the crevices here. Look at that. Oh, wow. And we are going to, oh, wow. This looks really, really good. Kind of get it all over the edge. The pan's really hot. So I'm going to put this on here, and then I'm going to put this in a 500-degree oven for about 15 or 20 minutes, okay? And this is going to basically caramelize on here, and it's going to get nice and crunchy on the top here as this sinks in, okay? So you see that? Let's put it in the oven. Okay guys, it's been 20 minutes on 500 degrees in the oven with this glaze on this thing, and boy, this thing looks good. Take a look. Look at that. Look at you got the broccoli there that's definitely roasted, and the asparagus. These potatoes are just right. They've just come out perfect. Now all that glaze is also on the vegetables. So let's see if we can, let me see if I can cut into this real fast. Alexa, stop. All right, let's look here what we got. Look at that. Now look, you take that, you sop that right in the juices there. Take a look at that. Do you see that? Man, I have a feeling this is going to be great. I'll post a picture of this later. Enjoy. Don't forget that if you fix this, post a picture, tag me, and be entered for an amazing cooked goodies, cake, something. Bye.